Good afternoon. Alright. I'm hiking. Surprise, surprise. That just seems to be all I'm doing here in Korea. Hiking or working. I mean, it's Saturday and I logged in to actually work this morning, which is why I'm like, man, I'm either working or I'm hiking. So, I'm on my way to Songgwangsa Temple. I'm in the middle of a national forest. The nickname for this temple is the Piney Expanse, or like the expansive pine trees. And the main thing is that there are a lot of pine trees in this area. And it's pretty. It's not as pretty as the other two that I've been to so far. That sign says Songgwangsa. That way. I think it's actually on top of a mountain. So the hike up is going to be a little, my second one today. I already did the hike over at the tea garden thing, the tea plantation. Although this has one of those really cool river runs through type of situations. Oops. River runs through type of situations where there's a stream or a river, whatever you want to call this, that actually goes alongside. It reminds me of when I went to Sokcho and went to that mountain. I forget the name. Soroksan, I believe the name was. I'll put it right here somewhere. But this temple is famous for being one of the 3 jewels of the Sogyo order. This is number 3 of 3 for me. In this trip, I have now completed all 3 jewels for the Jogyo order. They're considered the 3 most important temples in Korea, according to some sites, right? I'm sure people would argue that. But the thing is that the first temple I went to, I believe was Tonggosa, and that one was for Dharma, or the teachings. The second one I went to, Haensa, that was for Buddha, so the statues that were only on the inside of the buildings, which makes you kind of wonder, if it's not for the teachings and it's not for the Buddha, what's this one for? And the answer to that is Sanka, which in common terms are the people, or Buddhist. So this one is for everyone who studies Buddhism. And this temple in particular has put out some really good monks, apparently. It's famous for the quality of monks that actually come out of here and go spread the teachings of Buddhism. So, wow, yeah. Talk about piney expanse, right? I mean, let me see what the actual term was. Spreading Pine Temple, or the Piney Expanse Monastery, yeah. The name apparently originally was Gilsanga, which actually that makes a lot of sense, because this is the temple for Sangha, the people. And so, or Buddhists. Another really interesting fact that just caught my eye just now when I was looking at that. This temple, out of the 3, has the most, what do you call it, sister temples, I guess you could call them. As in when they create another temple in the same name type of deal in a different city. And this one out of the 3 is the only one that has a foreign, or I think it actually said had the first foreign temple outside of Korea. And it's actually in Koreatown, LA, which is kind of neat. I mean, I was just there not so long ago, so I do wonder if I passed it or not. I do know that I passed by the Thai temple, but I've come to a crossroads and I need to figure out which way to go. Songgwangsa Temple, okay, this way. So this temple has over 80 buildings. which, in my opinion, that's incredible. This place is huge. It's actually very well known for not only local monks, but like foreign people to come and study Buddhism here. So, thus they have a lot of buildings. But it looks like I'm actually coming up on it, so I'll check back in a moment once I actually get to walk around a little and maybe read some stuff to learn a little. I also have a tractor coming towards me, so I'm gonna put on my mask, but I'll be back in a moment here. Currently I'm walking in the main plaza of the main temple. That building right there is the main temple. And one of the key things about this area is the fact that it is known for its Zen Buddhism, and that's like what they promote. One kind of really interesting fact that I read about this particular temple, I said before that it's part of the Jogyo order. It's on Mount Jogyo. So this temple is on the mountain of the same name as the order, which is pretty crazy. It's fantastic. I would say that it doesn't look as polished as the other two temples did. This one's probably a little bit more down to earth in that sense. There are way more buildings all around, but they don't look as new or as refined. So there is a section for the temple stay when you come right on in. That looks brand new, and that's a little different. That looks, oh, there's actually some examples right up in front of me right now that I'm walking up to. But for the most part, all these other buildings look aged, and they it was said that on the board that I was reading that there were 8 major renovations to this place, because it was pretty much destroyed after the Indian Wars of the late 16th century, and then there was a fire here in the 1800s. I think it said 1848, and then the Korean War didn't do it any favors, so there were huge restorations to get everything back to order, and they got it back to where it is today. Let's actually see if I can just turn around here. So those buildings right there look newish, and I think those are part of the temple stay programs. Like, that's where you sleep, in other words. But as I go up, I don't know when the last time it was actually restored, like, to completion. I think it was probably in the 80s. But everything here is not like brightly colored, or like, it doesn't have that amazing contrast like the other temples did. This one actually looks more like a temple than like a tourist site, which is kind of cool. And again, the 3,000 won to get in is totally worth it. Like, this is a place that you could easily spend over 2 hours at if you're like really gonna go into every nook and cranny. But I'm actually kind of running out of time here, and there's still a march downhill that I have to do in order to get back to the car. So let me see what else I could see, and we'll probably do at least one last check-in, if not one more before that. Oh, I should mention, this whole area is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, so it's another one down that I've hit. You know, UNESCO should have a worldwide stamp rally for you to go to. That would be fun. Anyhow, I'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. I am walking on the main road out. I came in on a mountain pass, and then there's actually a road that people have been driving on that all the signs say this goes to the entrance, so decided I'd walk on that on my way out. Kind of one final note that I have as I was walking out. This place is really well built. That is for sure. The architecture here is fantastic, and there's like so many bridges and like streams, and everything is really nice here. I'm impressed. When it comes to, like, if I was to tell people, if you had to choose one of the 3 or 2 of the 3 to come to for the jewel temples, I would try to get you to go to all 3 first. But if you had to skip one, I would say this is the one that I think is okay to skip. That being said, it should be noted that this temple has the most artifacts out of anywhere in the country. They have over 8,000 artifacts, 3 of which are national treasures stored at this temple. Now everything is closed and you actually can't see most of them. I went up to go see a stup of a famous monk. I don't think I actually took any video of it though, because there was a bunch of people there. I do have a photo probably though that I could throw up. This temple, it's like great, right? But comparatively to the other two, I don't feel that it offers as much. I mean, this pine tree experience is cool, but when you go to Tongdosa and you have to drive through the mountains to get there, I think that's cooler. If you're like walking around the buildings and you're going through and you're like, wow, this is amazing, you know, with all the artifacts and everything, I think Heiansa is cooler with that wooden library, and I think the buildings there are actually a little more impressive. Of course, that's subjective, right? So that's my opinion. If any of my friends were coming, I would be like, try to hit all 3. If you can't, miss this one first. Man, and then between Tongdosa and Heiansa, that's a hard one. I think Heiansa like pulls ahead a little bit for me. I think that was my favorite of the 3. It's so hard because I keep, you know, I do that thing where I go back and forth. This one, not even really in my mind, so to say. But I have to say I'm happy that I was able to get all 3 of the temples, the jewel temples, checked off that list. I think that's probably more than most Koreans have done. I know my buddy is like, what jewel temples? I have no idea what you're talking about. So little things like this, they should definitely do more TV shows in Korean on special little trips that you could do like this. This is not a hard drive. I think you could do it over a weekend, the 3 temples, easily. And that includes getting good food at places and finding pretty decent hotels or places to stay. Kind of unlike what I'm doing, but you know, I'm just finding the cheapest thing that I could put my head down and has internet. Anyhow, that's it for Songgwangsa. I'm gonna go ahead and kill it off here, hop in the car, and get going. The day is passing by real quick. And because of my tardiness or bad planning, either way, I'm skipping over some things and going straight to the next location. We'll check back in on the next video. I gotta get out of here, so I'm gonna start hoofing it down the hill. Till then.